I'm Mark Duvall. I'm from the Electric Power Research Institute. We're just going to go ahead and get very quickly started. I know that we're running a little behind schedule. We're going to start with David Packard from Clipper Creek. I believe they are one of the oldest manufacturers of charging equipment in this business, and that some of their devices are out there today that are maybe over 15 years old and have been in use for over 15 years. So David's going to present his company's technology and approach. He's also going to take a couple of extra minutes to talk about their grant program for refurbishing existing charge points. And you can just talk about that. So please welcome David Packard.
They told me this was the EV 101, so I made it EVSE 101. So those of you that are familiar with it, bear with us. I'll get to it quickly. But I just thought it was worthwhile. When we talk about charging stations, aren't actually chargers. They're a place to charge your car, the actual chargers on board the vehicle. And we call them EVSEs, Electric Vehicle Supply Equipment. Government's involved, they have to have an acronym. And pretty much it supplies safety. I always, the analogy that my daughter, who's now 26, can plug the power in while talking on her cell phone and reporting, right? And it has to be that safe. With power levels of 6 kilowatts, which is really a lot of power. It's pretty much a house. And that's the amount of power we're dumping into the vehicle to get it charged in a few hours. Some of the specifications, SAE weighs in with the communication with the vehicle and the actual plug that we've now standardized after 20 years. In the 90s, we had 4 different plugs that we were using. The OEMs have their own specs, ULs for safety certification, and NEC, which is the building regulations, which is kind of the gatekeeper of the whole thing. The SAE J1772 connector is the new plug. Those plugs will fit all the vehicles across the industry, so we only need one charging station and everybody can use it. You buy one with your Coda, you can use it with your Toyota, with your Chevy Volt, with your Nissan Leaf. The electronics is the same. The communication with the vehicle is all handled through that. All the safety and with the vehicle is handled through this connector. You can actually drive over it and it will still operate, which I'm sure will happen fairly soon. And your home charger will also be compatible with public charging. So when you go to the grocery store, you can plug in there. It'll be the same as your home. The OEM specifications, just their battery voltage, the charge rate. You heard Coda talking about a 6 kilowatt charger. Will probably be close to the industry standard, either 3 kilowatts like the Volt and the Leaf, or 6 kilowatts. And that depends on the battery size, what range you have, to how long it's going to take to charge. The inlet location, unfortunately, they put it all over the car, so there's no standard there. It sure would be nice if there were. In the vehicle interlock, which is part of the safety system. The UL listing, there's numerous safety, grueling safety tests you have to go through with UL. Every bit of every little aspect of it is has a serious. I mean, UL can come up with 20 tests just to test interlock. But that ensures the safety. And when we get to the building codes, the NEC 625, which is what your building inspector uses to inspect your installation, he's going to look for that label. Whether it be UL or some other safety organization, we always defer to UL to make sure that it meets those safety standards. If you don't have that sticker on the product, you're probably not getting it installed. We've heard horror stories in the past, a lot of horror stories about that. Just make sure the product you're getting is listed. You know, some of the other requirements, there's ADA requirements, safety height. The connector can't be higher than 4 feet. It has to be accessible, and they have to be hardwired for level 2. There's some question whether that ruling will stay true, but for the most part, it's going to have to be hardwired. Public infrastructure, there's about 1,200 EVSEs installed today across California. Mark mentioned we have a grant from the Energy Commission to upgrade those charging stations to the new standard, and you know, work with some of the older technology that's out there, and some of the people are still driving vehicles. There's probably 500 to 1,000 EVs still in use in California that are relying on these charging stations. So we're not going to rip them all out. We're just going to rip most of them out and update them. But that'll be the first infrastructure that we start in large volume. We should start that project next month, and we'll be doing it as quickly as possible. And maybe EV Connect can shed some light on that as well. They'll be doing the installations. And plus, there's numerous other grants that you'll hear about, putting tens of thousands of public charging stations in the state of California. I'm going the wrong way. One of the things that's really important is that the utilities be involved in all your installations, whether it be public or residential. You know, to whatever extent you're involved, to whatever you can do to make sure the utility's aware of where these charging stations are going. When you put 3 charging stations on a cul-de-sac, it's like putting 3 new houses behind the same old transformers that we've had out there for years, and we can overload the system very quickly. The more they're aware of what's going on, the better planning we can have and the less problems. And we talk about a seamless operation. The utilities are the fuel provider for this industry, and we need to keep them involved in all the gas station pumps, if you will, that are going out in the industry. And also provide, these products will provide smart grid integration as soon as the grid gets smart. And then also there are some low-tech demand-side management devices that we can put in there for rolling blackouts or rolling brownouts so that the utilities can turn these off as easily as they can turn off a hot water heater or shut down your, or slow down your AC system. Installation, I know this is the next group, but I thought I'd go into it a little bit. The one thing we saw in the past was the installation got real elaborate and real expensive. And this is nothing more than a dryer plug. I mean, it's, there are 3 wires that come into the box that we're wiring up. There's 2 hot leads and a ground, and that's all it takes. This box in particular has 4 screws that hold it to the wall. So the installation isn't a big deal. And the electrician, you know, they do a great job, but once we start certifying electricians and it's an EV charger, everyone gets all excited and they start charging a lot of money. You know, let's make sure that, you know, all electricians are certified to do this, and let's keep the price down, keep the competition high. Pedestals are, you know, standard installation in the concrete, you know, embedded mounts. I have 2 hours left. Just quickly, my shameless plug. Clipper Creek, as Mark said, we've been in the business since '93. It's really a long time. You know, we walk around, we see people, and we're all, you know, we're happy to see them. We're also kind of surprised that we're all still alive. Our company has software-based technology, which, you know, we think is more reliable and does a much better job of getting the car charged, and that's what we strive to do, is make sure the car is charged. We've shipped over 9,400 products, 3,400 since 2009, supplying both BMW and Tesla and numerous public installations. Product's been out there for about 12 years. A lot of what we're doing in the infrastructure, the upgrading, is our old products. You know, it's old technology. It's time for them to get renewed. And all our products are made up in Auburn, California. We do all the final assembly there. And all our subcomponents are sourced in California, except for the connector, which is made in Japan. Current list of products. Our CS line is the public infrastructure product, and then we have a portable in-cord device for 110-volt charging, which actually takes forever to charge, but it's a peace of mind that you can go to grandma's house and plug in and steal her electricity and charge a car. And then we have the TS70, which we developed specifically for the Tesla Roadster. And lastly, thank you very much, and we're also on the GSA contract as of last month. Thank you very much.